have a question for Todd if he's here. We can roll to that.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, so Todd, I had a question. One comment said that you were totally right about high magnetic polarizability also changing the impedance and help to trap xenic surface waves or surface plasmons, and these different like surfaces of those layers in the metamaterial. But how do we prevent accidental stirring of the water in your experiment too? Because you had that water sample, and do you think we should use solids to avoid accidental like stirring of the molecules in the liquid?
Well, I mean, I looked at I can't think of the guy's name now. Yeah. I looked at the equation that governs this, and the temperature difference between 0 centigrade frozen water versus room temperature water, it's pretty much negligible. And unless you're down into the low Kelvin, it's not going to make a heck of a lot of difference. So it's the population density, that you're going to get. But you do, I mean, there's probably better materials to use than water. Probably the mu metal is a better material to use than the water, but I haven't spent the time looking into it yet because I'm just focused on doing what I started out to do.
Right. This is just a basic preliminary setup too. I want to remind the audience watching that water is used in laboratories. That's what's used in most NMR machines. Is they put samples inside of water when they analyze them. So, yeah. I guess unless it's boiling, it's not really a big. They're not moving around enough to make much of a difference.
Right. And this is a proof of concept, so it's it's a learning experience for myself, because I've never done this before, and 5 years ago I never thought I would. So here I am trying to make a nuclear magnetic resonator in my garage. We shall see how it goes.
You can always use ultrasonics or acoustic waves to effectively vibrate or mechanically disturb that material without having to worry about it sloshing around too, if you didn't want to get other weird or compound erroneous measurements.
Yeah. The thing with measuring the change in the Lamore precession frequency with respect to vibration or oscillation, so I can get a calibration of how the frequency is affected with the rate of acceleration, which is the connection to gravity, right? So that's what I want to measure. And that measurement is going to be difficult because it's not going to change very much at low rates. So I actually need something that's going to make it accelerate quite quickly. And I have some piezoelectric transducers, thanks to Jim Woodward, that I can use to make some really high vibration frequencies, and I have the frequency generator to do it. So
that you do.
So this is going to be an interesting couple of months to get all this together and tested and working. But and then after that, I've got several of these the mega drives that I made to test, and some new ideas that I have on my own. And I finally have the springs necessary to measure a change or measure some level of thrust, hopefully.
Did you get the same ones they talked about at Estes Park or something similar?
Yeah, the same ones, and a couple of others that are a little stiffer. But I got enough of them to make like a bed that it can rest on, so that if there's any kind of thrust at all, it'll change height.
Now you built your Mega Drive though, right? Or did Woodward send you something?
No, I built them.
Testing?
Yeah, you built
testing?
That's awesome.
I had a buddy of mine that works in the metal shop, and he did the metal work for me for a bottle of tequila.